Hi, today we are going to talk about a special type of bully, the bully spouse. And a spouse can be a boyfriend, a fiance, a husband. Okay, spouse is a general term for romantic partner. And when the romance is sour and the bullying begins, it's a very ugly experience. And millions of people are trapped in this hell of being bullied by a spouse. I know you can think of at least a few people you know who fit that description of they are being actively bullied and abused by a spouse or a boyfriend. It's terrible, and it does a lot of damage in the sense that if there are children in the home, they see this abuse as normal. It's become normalized for them to see dad smacking mom. And so when they grow up, they're going to, there's a high likelihood that they'll repeat that behavior because they saw it in the formative years. And kids they're sponges. They see that, they go, oh, I guess that's normal and acceptable. And it's not. It's ugly, and it destroys families. And here today, right now, we are going to talk about the most effective way to deal with that special category of bully, okay? I do want to mention one thing. Exes can be bullies, right? Okay, exes can be bad bullies. So you break up with a guy and then he spreads your naked pictures or videos online to shame you, or he stalks you at work, or he gossips about you, or he chases your existing boyfriend away. There's a million things that an ex can do that also falls under this category of bullying. So, and exes can be female as well. If female exes are famous for setting a guy's apartment on fire, slashing the tires of his car, turning him into the police if he's doing something illegal. That's a common one for an ex-girlfriend to get revenge, is to tell the police, I know something about my boyfriend that the police want to know. So exes can be bullies. Okay, you got two categories here. Baby mama drama, okay? That means I got a girl pregnant. I don't want to have a relationship with her, but I'm still connected to her because of the child. So I probably had to pay child support. Sometimes a father will resent that and pay slow or late or never. Other times he will resent that his son is being raised by another family and he doesn't. They can be bullies, okay? That can be a bully situation. Perfect example of baby mama drama being bully situation is this. The child is growing up and the child asks mom, maybe at 3 years old, 4 years old, says, Mom, where's daddy? Who's my daddy? And she says, your daddy is a loser. He's no good. He didn't want you. That he left. He's not a good person. He's a monster. He doesn't pay child support. He's a loser, right? So that is bully behavior. You're using the child as a pawn to hurt the other, right? That's okay. So that's baby mama drama. Now, on the other side of that is deadbeat dads, right? A deadbeat dad is an irresponsible loser who doesn't pay his child support, doesn't have any interaction with the child, is is a terrible dad, right? Maybe he has a drug abuse or an alcohol problem. Maybe he's just one of a million assorted types of lost souls in this society where it's easy for you to just fail as a person and simultaneously fail as a father, right? So, okay, I want to tell you about a story of a girl I know. She is the victim of an abusive bully spouse. Her name is Sarah. And Sarah is trapped in a situation of her own circumstance, right? And I want to express to you the story of Sarah so you don't get trapped in similar situations. Okay, she fell in love with a veteran from the Iraq War, okay? And she immediately started having babies with him. He had PTSD, and it was bad, right? They kept having they have 5 babies, right? Now, the abuse, she tells me about the abuse, right? She sends me pictures, black eye, broken nose, busted up lip, okay? And in one picture, she says he's running around drunk, chasing her with a knife, right? And she took a picture with her cell phone. I see him holding the knife, and I see one of the 5 children, a toddler, right behind the knife. It's like, oh, this is so unsafe, right? Super unsafe, right? And she tells me things like this, like, okay, you know, PTSD, right, is, it's a form of insanity in the late stage of PTSD. It's a type of insanity because you start hallucinating. So he's starting to call his wife Charlie, and he's trying to assume like she's a traitor or she's the enemy. He's speaking in those terms as if he's back in war and she is the enemy. And he's drinking heavily. And he has a tremendous amount of stress in life because I don't know why. I don't know why. You did your time in war. Act like a human being. Treat your wife better. Treat your stop drinking. You had a mission in Iraq, and now your mission should be stop drinking and be a better person. But whatever the ghosts of war are messing with them, okay, the bottom line is this. He's chasing her around the house with a knife. He's breaking her nose, and she's trapped. Do you know why she's trapped? There's absolutely nothing anyone could do to help her. Here's why. She has no job skills at all. She never had a job, nor had any training. And even if you ask her what she would do in the ideal state, do you ever have a dream or what do you think you might? It's all like talking to a child. The ideas are not, they're not possible in today's job market, okay? So here's the thing, right? Let's say you're going to say, well, isn't there a battered shelter, a battered women's shelter where she could go with 5 kids? And here's another thing. He controls all the money. He controls the credit cards. She don't ever get a credit. There's nothing in her name, okay? She doesn't, the cell phone that she uses, he pays, so he can turn it off anytime. When they're arguing, he turns it off. He checks the phone constantly. Any friend that she's confiding too much, cut him off, block him. He controls every part of her life so that when he does break her nose, she can't do anything. There's nothing she can do. He turns off the phones. And the police aren't going to help her because what actually could they do? It's his house, not hers. She's trapped. She's trapped. And it's what I want you to do is I want you to strive for self-sufficiency. That means I want you to have a job skill. I want you to have an education. I want you to have self-sufficiency. So you don't need your husband. You don't need your boyfriend. It's great if you work together as a family, but if he got stupid or insane or just start throwing his fists around, I want you to be smart enough and skilled enough to support yourself and your children if you have any, because you don't want to be like Sarah, getting beat, smacked around, and can't leave because you don't even have a car. He has the only car. You don't even have keys to the car. You don't even have a driver's license because he didn't let you get one. And you're trapped. You're trapped. Don't be trapped, okay? And that goes into other videos too, where I say, hey, if your boss is abusive, it's usually because you feel trapped. Well, I have a good job and the job market's rough. It took me 6 months to find this job and I'm really grateful to have a job and pay my bill. Maybe he's gonna leave me alone today. Maybe I'm just gonna sit in the back and be quiet and just look at. No. Here's how I come in. I say, hey boss, I start clapping. Hey boss. Hey, you don't talk to me that way because I'm self-sufficient. And if you and me can't work together with respect, I'm out of here. Okay? So you got two choices. Talk to me with respect or not at all. And so that's the difference of saying, hey, I don't need this job. Well, I don't need an abusive husband or, an abusive. Can wives be abusive? Yes. It's much more rare, but yes, wives can be abusive. You know who I think is abusive? Jada Pinkett. I think she's abusive to Will Smith. I think that at the Oscars, she was abusive. That Chris Rock said that dumb joke, and Will Smith chuckled, and then he turned at her, and she looked, and he ran up there because he was bullied by her. You know what? She bullied him. She says, I want an open marriage. You know what that means? That means she gets to have sex with other guys, and she did, but not Will. He didn't do it. He didn't have sex with other women. It was just so she could get her sex on. She could be unfaithful. And hey, here's the irony. He plays a hero in all of his movies, right? Be a man. Step up. You're not dependent on her. If she's treating you bad, get out of here. You want to go sleep with other people? Bye-bye. We'll see you. Well, I'm done with you. No, whatever you think, honey. If you want to kiss other men, that's... What? That's crazy talk. Sharing your wife with other strange men. Insane. But, nevertheless, here we're getting back to the different types of bullies that are under the category of bully spouse. Okay, what about the religious bully spouse? That's an entire category, okay? And it comes down to this. Muslim men, traditionally in Muslim cultures, you see a lot of men abusing and hitting and striking down their, smacking their women around. Why? Because in the Quran it says it's okay, and they follow that holy book. Okay, in their culture, woman not supposed to disrespect the man. If she does, And they control every part of her life. In some Muslim worlds, the wife has to wear a full burqa. She cannot show her face in public. She cannot drive a car. She cannot go unescorted in public. In other Muslim cultures, she just had to wear this much, right? But in other Muslim countries, she wear this much, okay? But in every Muslim country, they are not equals. The man is the king, okay? And it's very common in that culture to see the type of abuse we're talking about. Physical violence, threats of violence, treating them like less than equal, okay? But you see the exact same thing in Christian cultures, okay? So the Mormons, they believe in polygamy, right? So they believe that you can have multiple wives. So how does that feel to the wife? She's not equal. She can't have multiple husbands. That's not allowed. But he can have multiple wives. So there's a lot. The Christian forms of abuse and bullying may not be as evident to you if you live in a Christian culture. It looks like, oh, that's normal. But just the same way the Muslim cultures, if you don't live there, it's more obvious to see the flaws of the stranger than the flaws of the familiar. Okay? So, what about those murder-suicide families? You know the ones I'm talking about? Where you see on the news, it happens all the time. So-and-so, an accountant at XYB Corporation, shot his wife and his 3 kids and then killed himself. It happens all the time. Well, why do you think that happened? Because there was a system, a routine of abuse. And the abuse was getting worse and worse. And that's why I'm telling you that you have to take action now. Because what is a black eye or a bloody nose today could be a bullet in the head in a month, okay? Because violence has a way of growing if not checked, okay? So we need to stop this abuse now before, murder-suicide family, okay? So the murder-suicide family is the ultimate form of bullying, right? You're going to do what I say or I'm going to kill you, right? And that's what like I said, any violence is a red flag, but that is a burning building, right? If you are getting threats like he's going to kill you. But we're going to talk about the procedure to deal with this type of bullying in one moment, okay? The last type, the subcategory of spousal bully, is the alcoholic bully, okay? So I hate alcohol, right? I mean, I'm always talking bad about it. If I had a daughter and she was drinking alcohol, I would take it from her and I say, what? They don't have no weed? I smoke some weed. If you have to burn off some steam, weed, alcohol is the only drug that's connected statistically to domestic violence. Alcohol. Most of the people who get arrested for domestic violence were drunk. Most. It's also connected to drunk driving, but you never hear marijuana driving. You never hear cocaine driving. Okay? Those drugs don't cause the damage that alcohol does to a family in the form of drunk driving and domestic violence, okay? So the alcoholic bully is a terrible thing. It's a Jekyll and Hyde thing, where in the morning when he's sober, he says, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. I didn't mean...